Good morning. It is Monday, March 30th, 90 days out from June 28th. Your DT, D2, the database 2 keeps you moving through your database to make sure you talk to all the humans at some point. You are calling your Ys and your Zs, which you might be short on, which is fine. You can focus on another letter. Or in pursuit of more people with Ys and Zs, you can say, hey, talk to your friend that has a more typical last name or first initial. I know one off the top of my head, Zemanakis, good Greek name, Zemanakis. I've got a Z in my life, and with a Y, I only have a person. I think off the top of my head, this is why we keep a database, so you don't have to go off the top of your head. I've got a friend named Janelle that starts with a Y, but other than that, this is why we do this, so you can flesh out all of the initials in the alphabet so you have more people. So you could simply ask people that you're talking to today, do they know anybody that has a last name that starts with Z or Y? And you could also default to first names with Z and Y, because that might be a category like myself that might be smaller for you. And if that's the case, you might want to build that up. Nonetheless, DTD2 is there to help you just make sure that you're having all the conversations. One of our fearless leaders here in the building, one of our amazing staff members, Colin D'Agostano, is having his birthday today. KWikStart is having her birthday today. And of course, Brian Harrington as well. So if you see any of them in the hallway or on the internet or anywhere around the offices, do say hello. I know people will probably talk to Colin quite a bit today because he's in charge of compliance. And not that we're not all in compliance. We might be near compliance. We might not be in compliance. And he helps us do that. So wish Colin a happy birthday when you get a chance. We are heading out of here. Of course, Fight Club continues. Fight Club. We've got 2 more weeks of Fight Club. Not that it's ending. It's getting rebranded. And you might have seen that on the face space. We are going to have it rebranded to the Breakthrough Club. It'll be the same thing, a little bit different. We're going to add some stuff, but you'll see that that's coming on Monday the 13th. So 2 weeks from today, we start a new class called Breakthrough. And of course, as part of that is the lead generation piece, which is going to be the Breakthrough Club. But for now, for the next couple of weeks, we're going to stick with Fight Club. That's happening today. That is at 9 o'clock. You can go to KWFightClub.com, KWFightClub.com. Jump in there, fighting your limiting beliefs and picking up the phone, talking to your people. And if you're not talking to your people, are you texting them? Are you DMing them? Are you sending out marketing pieces, emails, door knocking? However, you're staying in touch with your humans to make sure you're having enough conversations to stay top of mind with them. So when they become transactional, they come back to you. That's the point. That's why we're doing it. And of course, to build our sphere and our sphere of influence for that matter. Today at noon o'clock, it is the midday protocol. You can jump into my office, timsoffice.com for the midday protocol, timsoffice.com. And simply by clicking that link and jumping in, I just need you to answer 3 questions or not. You can just come hang out. We've had some people joining us as of late. They're just coming to hang out and listen to other people talk about what they're doing and not doing. So when you first get there, you do not have to check in and give all your metrics. I would like you to be excited about knowing your metrics and then eventually sharing them. But it's a place for us to talk about our 3 key metrics. Our lead indicators are our conversations and interactions, our appointments set to sit with buyers, sellers, and investors to sign them into our business, and of course, the signing part. How many signed agreements? So conversations and interactions, appointments to sit with them, and then how many people did we sign into our business? Signed agreements would be the third one. And of course, purchase and sales would count as well. We talk about that. And then from there, we just have a little bit of a coaching conversation, a little bit of a mastermind, and you're on your way by 12:30. That's at noon o'clock today, the midday protocol, timsoffice.com for that. Ask the Brokers, Jason Westcott, asking all of your wild questions from over the weekend. If you've got questions, comments, concerns, I don't know what's going on. This happened over the weekend and this happened over the weekend, or I heard about this, or I have a question about this. He's there to help you with that. Ask the Broker, 1:30 p.m. Today on KellerTV.com with Jason Westcott. And then, of course, at 2:30, Take Your Business to the Next Level with the Maggie McDowell. You can join our regional tech trainer, Maggie McDowell, for Take Your Business to the Next Level. You can register for that conversation. The link for that's in the morning news. That's at 2:30. Then, and right behind that at 3 o'clock, our dear friend Tiffany Hampton with 25 and 26. Between Breakthrough, which is starting in a couple of weeks. And of course, our in-house program as you're getting started here at KWCLM, which is your pathway to success with Brittany. And they meet on Tuesdays. And of course, I know Monday afternoons you can meet with Maggie McDowell, our regional tech trainer, for some tech help. And Thursdays, you can meet with KT, our market center tech trainer, for more tech help. And then, of course, you have an opportunity this afternoon to meet with Tiffany Hampton for 25 and 26. What we're doing, and the reason these are all on the calendar, is to make sure you understand these are all available to you. If and again, it's who are you going to click with, right? What's going to make sense? I take this from Maggie, I took that from KT. I heard Timmy say this, then Tiffany said that. This is how we learn, by staying in touch with each other and learning from each other. There's not a single person who doesn't have multiple people who are helping them get to where they need to go, and that's the purpose of you sharing your goals with your MAPS coach, your productivity coach, your peers, your team. If you want to go fast, you're going to go alone. If you want to go far, you're bringing other people with you. And I think the opportunity to bring other people with you and to lock arms starting first thing in the morning on our calendar before the quick start. What do? We invite you to join James Shaw and the Pivot Shift call that has been going on now for 6 years. 6 years that call has been taking place. So you can lean into that conversation. You can grab maybe a little something from this, and then we get into Fight Club. And yes, that's a space where you're just going to do your lead generation. Though if you need some help, there's people around. You will always see my face either on screen, or you're going to see my screensaver of me just staring out the window in the Shark Tank, because I might be meeting with somebody in here, but a text or a phone call away. Question you need to ask yourself is, what will make today feel like a success? What will make today feel like a success? Because we get all caught up and, well, I've got this big, huge thing. And there's a great book. Brian Moran wrote a great book called the 12-week year. And the reason it's called the 12-week year is there's 13 weeks in every quarter, but you should be taking a week off, or it's advised that you take some time off, obviously. So there's really 12 weeks every quarter. So just treat the quarter like your year. Don't make it bigger or uglier than it needs to be. Don't worry about everything that needs to be done in 2026. What do you need to do today to make today feel like a success? And for some of us, it's going to be maybe some big, hairy, audacious goal. For some of us, it's just like, you know what? I'm going to do some lead generation today. I'm going to talk to some people today. I'm going to put together that marketing piece I've been telling myself I was going to put together forever and ever and ever. Today is the day I'm getting it done. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. So whatever it is you want for yourself, whatever it is that you know you're capable of, and even the stuff that you're not sure you're capable of. And that plays into that entire conversation about people saying, well, I've got imposter syndrome about doing X, Y, or Z. I think that's healthy. I think there's a differentiation between these two statements. I think people used to say, hey, you got to fake it till you make it. I don't like that one. I think that sounds disingenuous. And it's all the same thing. But imposter syndrome, to me, is self-inflicted. It's, well, I feel this way because I don't think that I should be doing this, or I don't think that I deserve to be here. And if you feel that way, maybe there's some truth behind it. But if we're waking up knowing that our intention is to do something that we consider, based on right now in this minute, is outside of my purview, it's outside of my skill set, it's outside of my knowledge base. Everything that you haven't done, you haven't done. And there's things that you're going to do today for the first time that may be imperfect, and yet they will take place, and you can build off of them, and you can build skills and efficiencies, and you can build confidence. Confidence is structured on top of competence, and competence continues to grow off of confidence. And I think a lot of people are wondering, I don't know if I feel confident enough. And I don't know necessarily, and this is my self belief. I'm not quite sure that we necessarily march around like before I leave the house, I'm going to grab my bucket of confidence. I've always felt like confidence is given to you by the people in the room when you walk into the room. And that might be my twisted little version. Let me ask you this. If I got a phone call last night from Gary, I didn't, he won't call me. I've left so many voicemails. Anyway, let's say Gary calls me last night and he's like, "Hey, Timmy, I'm going to be in New England. I'm going to stop by your market center. I'm going to pop in. And when I pop in, could you do me a favor? I just want you to grab one of your agents at random. And I just want you to have them come down to the Shark Tank and explain Keller Williams to me or explain the 463 experience to me." Now, let's take a totally different situation. There's just a new person. They're not even in, they're taking their class, they're about to take their test, and they're considering coming to Keller Williams. If I grabbed any one of you and sent you down the hallway to the Shark Tank here in Portsmouth to have a conversation about Keller Williams with Gary Keller or with an agent who knows nothing next to nothing, when you walk into that room with that agent who doesn't know anything, would you not feel more confident? And it's not that Gary's presence is trying to extract confidence from you, but in that moment, you're like, "Oh God, well, Gary knows everything. What am I going to tell Gary that Gary doesn't know?" But this kid that's not even an agent yet, yeah, I can tell him whatever my feelings are, and they're not going to know the difference between a perfect story about 463, and there's no perfect story. It's not my point. And then my experience. I think we beat ourselves up a little too much. And we do that and we handcuff ourselves from having the conversations that we should be having with almost everybody because you don't feel ready. I don't know enough about real estate. I couldn't possibly go out and start talking to people now. I need to wait. We're never going to have all the answers. The beauty of being at a market center like ours is whatever you do run into, we probably have an agent who's been through it that can speak to it and certainly that can help. Your confidence will build off your competence and they're going to feed off each other. So the starting point has to be a little touch of bravery and a willingness to just say, "You know what? I might not look perfect in this moment, but I'm going to get started." Great quote. I don't know who it's attached to, and I adore it. You do not have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great. And every moment that we wait to get started, or every day that we feel like, "No, I'm not feeling it today," somebody in your service area is going to go without, is going to go without your God given talents, your passion, your care, your tenacity, your institutional knowledge about real estate. And they'll be left to work with someone else. Not necessarily better, not worse, just different. So ask yourself, who were you when you promised yourself that you were going to do this to help others? You were going to do this to control your calendar. You were going to do this to manage your finances and to be in control of those things. whatever that means for you. Are you doing that to the extent that you deserve? This isn't about anybody else. What is keeping you from going to get your unfair share? Oh, wow. The market in 2026 is going to be about 4.1 million transactions. That's enough. Sure. Do we want more? Sure. But my point is that enough for you? Were you planning on doing 4.2 million transactions this year? I don't think you were. Can you find your goal? Can you find your opportunity? Can you find the care for your family inside of 4.1 million transactions? Yes, that's a nationwide number. Do you think enough transactions in your service area will occur this year to take care of your goals? Say yes. So every time we say to ourselves, you know what? I just don't, but whatever you say, whatever you say, and we're all guilty of it. Saying that you tried is a noisy way of not doing it. Wednesday will be April 1st. Wednesday, we start Q2. Q1 is just about over. So, whatever 25% of your goal for 2026 is, we should at least have it pending. And if you're not there, can you blame it on the market? Or do you know that you could have behaved differently? You and I both know, even when things are clipping along, this is still a challenging industry. Then why in the world would we become another obstacle for ourselves? Because in the moment it feels safe, because in the moment it lets us rest, because in the moment it's one less thing you have to worry about. But then you get down the track. And like I said, today is June 28th. Wednesday, we're going to be talking about July 1st. By Friday, we'll be talking about 4th of July money. And then as we wrap up Q2 and get into Q3 is really our last quarter to get anything done this year because our Q3 activities are going to be Q4 results. By October 1st, your activities are feeding 2027. And it's not about avoiding time off. We have to get out of the habit of resting around our work and start to work around our rest. Plan your time off. Many of us are going to start to celebrate Wednesday at sundown. It's Passover. It's Holy Week for a lot of people. This weekend's going to be chill for a lot of people. Take advantage of that. Start to work around your rest. We tend to give ourselves respite when there's an appropriate time. And yet we have to take care of ourselves. I know I say it a lot, but when you're in the plane and they give those instructions, when the mask drops, they tell you to put yours on first. So you can be okay. So then you can help others. Let's carry that mindset into our self-care. Let's make sure we are planning our time off. So we can work around our rest. Gary talks about it in Quantum Leap. There is the point in your life, the 3 pillars of learn and then earn and then play. You could flip those on their side and make it like a stacked sandwich. At some point during the day, where will you learn? At some point during the day, where will you earn? And some point during the day, where will you play? What if every day looked like that for you? So you are looking forward to your part of the day, not your fraction of the week. What does today need to look like for it to feel like a success? What do you need to do to make yourself feel accomplished, to feel confident and competent, so you can lead and serve others? If I can help with that, let me know. It is 603-834-2856. You can also book my face at meetwithcoach.com. I'll see you in and around the Market Center and the internet. Take care.